In this video, I'm going to teach you how you can get your first job as a digital marketer. Now, don't worry if you don't have any digital marketing skills. I'm going to give you a simple framework to learn all the skills you need to work professionally as a digital marketer. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a simple system you can use to get your first job as a digital marketer and then scale that into higher paying jobs, full-time contract work, or even work as your own agency owner. So let's do this. All right, let's get into this on how you can learn these digital marketing skills. So first, right up here on my screen, you guys are gonna see that I have how to learn digital marketing skills. This is an article I wrote. It's really just a quick primer on some of the simplest things you can do to learn digital marketing skills. And you guys can see that if you go over to opensource.com. Again, that is opensource.com. Go over here to articles and you can check out how to learn digital marketing skills. Or you can just go to opensource.com/how to learn digital marketing skills. So I really get into this, and all I talk about here is that there are three main levels of digital marketing skills that you need to improve on. There's your foundational level skills, things like statistics, programming, analytics, and then there's marketing foundational skills, things like A/B testing, conversion rate optimization, funnel marketing, these larger areas that you're going to need to know to really do anything valuable in digital marketing. And most people are going to pick one of these areas to get good at least to start with. The third of these three areas are channel-specific expertise. And I talk about those down here. Basically at the bottom of this post, I talk about all the different resources you can use for you can see your base level skills, your marketing foundation layer skills, and your channel specific marketing skills. Now this framework with these three layers is not something that I came up with. The first place that I saw this was on a post on Brian Balfour's website. He's a really awesome marketer. I'll get to his work in a little bit here. But I saw it on Brian Balfour's website, and it's on an article called How to Become a Customer Acquisition Expert. And in this article, he goes through how he used these three layers of skills to build his digital marketing skills. I go over something similar in my article. I have my own twist on how you can do this, and I give you all my own resources. But basically, the difference here in what I'm suggesting is that I suggest you immediately get some sort of project or job you can work on. In Brian's article, he's talking a lot about how to become a better marketer if you're already an employee. In this article, I'm focusing on how you can just get started if you don't have any digital marketing skills. And so, the most important thing is to develop what I would call a sandbox. Now, a sandbox is basically an artificial environment that you create that lets you, play with some of these concepts that you're learning, test them out, and actually build something. And the easiest way to do that, which I get into right here, is to grow your own YouTube channel, grow a blog, your own Instagram account, or set up some sort of lead generation funnel to try to collect leads for other businesses. If you're just starting out, it could be something as simple as trying to develop a lead generation funnel to build your own email list. And if that's super complicated, everyone knows what a YouTube channel is or what a blog is. You can start by trying to just build one of those or try to grow it. I would suggest trying to grow a blog because that'll give you probably the widest range of skills that'll allow you to, be valuable to other companies as quickly as possible. So the next thing after you've looked at some of these skills you want to develop and you've figured out what your sandbox is going to be, how you're going to apply these skills, is you then need to first look at your base layer skills and see which one of these am I really deficient on. So some of the big skills, let's go over to Brian's article. He has this article. I'll just show you it. So I really like this graphic. You'll see this all over the internet. It's mostly people copying it from Brian. But basically, in his article, he talks about how a lot of companies started hiring people that were very good at one skill and then had a wide range of other supporting skills. So right here, you're going to need to look at these types of skills and figure out, which ones you need work on. And I go over each of these areas here in my article. You can see at the bottom of the article, I list all the important skills that you're going to want in each category. And what I would suggest doing is for each of these categories, your base level skills, your marketing foundation layer skills, and your channel specific marketing skills, I would pick one of those to get good at and really focus on those for a while. Because if you take one skill from each of these levels and you become good at it, you're going to have enough to be able to help a lot of different types of companies. For example, if I come up here to base level skills and I look at one that's going to be, the most widely usable in a number of companies, I'm going to pick analytics. So for my base layer skill, I'm going to focus on analytics. There's all these other ones you can look at later, but for now, let's use this as an example. I'm going to get good at analytics. I'm going to come down to my marketing foundation layer skill, and I am going to say, you know what? I want to get good at funnel marketing. So I'm going to learn how to build funnels and how pages should be sequenced in a funnel to optimize conversions. So I'm going to learn funnel marketing. So right now I've learned analytics and funnel marketing. And then I'm going to go over here to channel specific markets, and I'm going to say, you know what? I want to learn pay-per-click ads. So we're going to say that I know analytics, pay-per-click advertising like Google ads, and that includes Google search, display, shopping, and YouTube ads. And I'm gonna know how to do funnel marketing. If you know how to do that, you're going to be able to help so many companies. It is not going to be difficult for you to get a job if you're good at those three. Now, there's not going to be anyone in the world that's amazing at all these different skills, but what your first goal should be is to clear up any of the foundational level skills you don't have. If you don't know any statistics or basic mathematics, if you don't know anything about code, you can't even get on the back end of a site and understand anything, that is going to, hamper your progress as a digital marketer. If you don't understand anything about product design or UX or anything about behavioral psychology, those are going to hamper your progress as a digital marketer. So the idea is not to become a master at all these skills. The idea is to shore up any weaknesses where, you don't know anything about the skill. You want to have a little bit working knowledge of a skill. So if you have to work on something using that skill, you can at least get yourself through it by reading manuals or getting a consulting session with someone else to quickly get yourself up to speed. That's where you want to be, where you can quickly get yourself up to speed on any of these, and you're really good at a couple of them. Now, the one layer where you do have to actually achieve mastery as quickly as possible is if you come down here into the last big subsection, we have, boom, channel specific marketing skills. You have to have one channel that you're almost an expert. I don't want to say an expert, but you've reached a relative level of mastery where you're better than 95+% of people using that channel. Because if you're not, you're honestly not going to be competitive. And when we're talking about channels, we're talking about the way that you actually bring a customer to a business. So for example, Facebook advertising, most people are familiar with that. Display advertising, those are the banners that you're going to see coming up, on websites. Email marketing. If you already have a customer list, this is another way you actually bring customers in to purchase more or get them to become repeat purchasers. But this is also competitive. This is a competitive channel because when you're talking about email, you're talking about competing against everyone else that's in someone's inbox. So you know what your inbox looks like. Most people have tons of marketing emails. And if you don't know how to write an email that converts, if you don't know how to do everything from the title of the email to the copy in the email to what type of advertising, how to get high delivery rates, all these different things, what sequence to market people to, what types of sequences to have different people on, how they switch sequences. If you don't know that, you're not going to be as competitive as all the other email marketers that are doing this channel. So in this last subsection, channel specific marketing, you want to pick one channel to go deep on. So going back to this handy framework that I think originated on Brian Balfour's article right here. These base layer skills, you want to make sure you have no weaknesses here. These marketing foundational layer skills, you want to make sure that you have a working knowledge of all these where you can at least understand it, and you can probably teach yourself how to do it pretty quickly if you need to do it and it's something outside your normal day-to-day work. These channel specific skills are the ones that you're going to want to learn and become competitive at very quickly. So the last thing about learning marketing skills is the order of importance. As a marketer, you need to have one channel that, like I said, you're almost an expert at. On the other hand, you're probably going to have, a few of these that you can do pretty well and probably one that you're really good at. And then down here in your base layer skills that really assist your marketing foundational skills, you're probably going to have some things you're strong at and some things you're weak at. So the trick is over time to cycle out which skills, you're focused on. So what you really want to do is you're probably only going to have to focus on a channel for a few months, maybe 6 months at the most, to get pretty good at it. If you want to become a master, maybe longer, but you're going to focus on it for a number of months to get really good, really quick, operating with this skill every day. So what that means is that channel specific skills are going to be the ones that you're cycling out the fastest on. You can learn a new channel in 3 months and you can get decent at it to where you're competitive in the market. That means you could be learning up to 4 different channels a year if you're at that rate, in 3 months. These marketing foundational skills, because of how they're used in building campaigns and building pages, you're not going to be using them for the most part as frequently. Something like Excel modeling or database querying, yeah, you can use that frequently, but funnel marketing and A/B testing, you might not be, just the frequency, the hours you're putting in on those channels is probably not going to be quite as high as it will be for some of your acquisition channels. Just because with acquisition channels, there's things that you have to be maintaining or updating on a daily basis. Some of these other ones, there can be things you're doing on a daily basis, but you're probably not going to be changing the copy on a page every day. Maybe if you're at a massive $1 billion company that's running multiple page tests on the same page every day, yeah. But for a small startup, you're probably not going to be changing the copy every single day. Funnel marketing, you're probably not going to be changing the order of the pages every day. So what this means is this lower frequency of testing and iteration you're going to be doing at this level means you're going to have to work on these skills for a longer period of time. If you're going to really focus on one of these and become an expert at it, you're probably going to be focused on it for at least 6 months. If you're at a company and you want to become a funnel marketing expert, you're probably going to have to be doing that for at least 6 months. Same thing here with something like A/B testing and conversion rate optimization. It would be very difficult to master conversion rate optimization in 3 months. You might be able to master it on one platform. You might be able to master conversion rate optimization for Shopify in 3 months, but certainly not the whole field. Finally, if you go back down here to the base layer, you're not going to master statistics, all statistics in 3 months, right? You're not going to master programming in 3 months. These take the longest. So when you're talking about base layer knowledge to really get better, first of all, you're not going to be using it every day as a marketer. You're not going to get deliberate practice on statistics as a marketer. You're not going to get it for any of these. You're not going to get deliberate practice unless you make the time for it. So this will be practice outside of your job to reinforce these skills which support the marketing foundational skills, okay? So if you're making a small amount of time, you might focus on trying to get better at just one of these for your entire career. You might become someone who's an expert at storytelling or behavioral psychology or analytics. If you're an expert at any one of these, it's going to make you stand out because of the amount of time it takes to become an expert at any of these. These are broader fields, right? So when you're thinking about how to learn digital marketing skills, you want to pick at least one from each layer that you're going to become an expert at, but the time that it takes to reach that level of expertise and the time you're going to stick to each one of these skills is going to be smaller as you move down this hierarchy of skills. At the channel layer, it's going to be a matter of months. At the marketing foundation, probably at least 6 months. And at the base knowledge layer, it could be your whole career. And you're still going to cycle through and try to, master as many of these skills as possible. But the frequency is going to be much higher for something where it's a more focused skill, like a channel. So that's kind of the framework for how you're going to think about learning these skills. And for projects, like I said, I suggest trying to build up a social media account or a website or a blog. As soon as you feel like you're ready to actually get some work, I encourage you to go do that, because the thing is, you'll never learn as quickly as you will when you're on a job, either working with other experienced marketers or just getting paid so that you're on real deadlines. So some examples you can use to try to look for work or get an idea of the type of skills that are valuable in the market. First thing I would do is suggest heading over to Upwork.com. And then second, I would head over to Angelus.com. Now, right here, I went into both of these. These are marketplaces for people trying to hire contractors, both of these sites. And right here on both sites, I went in and I looked for a very specific type of job just to show you how many jobs are out there. So here on Upwork, I'm looking for a Facebook marketer specializing in pay-per-click advertising. You can see that right here. And look at this, 847 jobs for something as specific as pay-per-click Facebook marketing. Now, if you typed in something more broad, just like pay-per-click advertising or just marketing, you're going to get way more jobs. And you can see here, there's all these different listings for PPC specialists on the Facebook ads platform. And again, this is a very specific job listing. Same thing over here on AngelList. All I did for the search query was type in remote for the location. So I want a remote job. And then Facebook ads. And you can see here all these different these jobs that are coming up. And you'll see, you're looking, I don't see Facebook. Why is it coming up? If you click in here to the job description, you're going to see that they talk about someone that, understands the Facebook ads platform for each of these jobs. So see again here, Facebook, YouTube, Google, advertising. And again, 155 companies came up for something as specific as a job for a remote Facebook media buyer, which is a very specific job, okay? So what you're gonna wanna do is look at some of these companies. They'll say, if they're looking for a very experienced marketer, some of them will say, hey, we're looking for a hungry marketer, someone that's new and they're willing to learn, they're willing to take a lower amount of a pay cut, and work with us. And this is exactly how I got some of my first jobs. One of them was through cold outreach on Facebook. I got a startup job. One of them was on AngelList when I was brand new. And I can tell you from experience that companies will be willing to take a chance on you if you're willing to work hard. Now that doesn't mean it will always work out. I've had companies that I only stayed with for a short period of time. And then I've had ones where I stayed with them for a long time. So it all depends on, what you can offer, where your skills are at. But the bottom line is if you're willing to work extremely hard and put yourself out there and learn skills and prove to people you've learned some of these skills by doing one of the projects like growing a social media account, a blog, or an actual small business, collecting leads through emails and using email marketing, you will definitely be able to get some type of work. Now, what you're going to do with each one of these is you need to look at the types of jobs that you want, okay? Because when you're starting out, you're not going to be able to even apply for the types of jobs you want. Frankly, you're going to be able to apply for the bottom of the barrel, lowest paying jobs for short contracts where people don't have to take a lot of risk hiring you, or even just for project specific jobs like building a WordPress site. It would be a very simple one. What you're going to do is you're then going to use the experience that you gain from these jobs to be able to apply to the next jobs. Because what you'll notice is a lot of these jobs are for people that have had experience. And people always ask, how can I ever get this job? Because all the jobs require experience. Well, that's going to be true for 95% of the jobs, but there's always that, 5 to 10% of jobs where they are willing to take a chance on someone that's new. And a lot of times they say that explicitly. It looks like my computer's trying to install Java. Let me skip that for a sec. So back here, a lot of these jobs will say explicitly they're looking for new people, but if they're not, you can garner from the ad for the job if they're willing to take a chance on someone. And you'll know this because in the job description, it will say, if they absolutely are not going to even look at people that are brand new, it will say things like you've already been responsible for this amount of ad spend or this amount of revenue, or you've already managed a team, or years and years of experience. Generally, if anything says more than 3 years of experience, they're probably not going to be open to hiring someone new. If it's 3 years or under for experience, a lot of these jobs, especially smaller companies, will be willing to hire people that are new. And so a lot of this is just kind of using common sense when you're reading through these job listings to know whether or not the people would be open to have someone apply that has only worked on their own projects. So I suggest you go first to Upwork.com, as this is for more project-based work. And then once you're comfortable looking through there and seeing what skills are valued on the open market, I'd go over to AngelList and look at some of the shorter term contract positions that are open. And even if you can't apply or it doesn't work, you might try reaching out to some of the people putting these listings up on LinkedIn and just asking for more information, or if they think you're at the right point in your learning journey to do this. Now, one last caveat is that I would not reach out to companies on AngelList for work until you've already at least done one of the projects I mentioned, growing a social media account, a blog, learning how to do lead generation. And I would also try to get at least 1 or 2 project-based jobs off Upwork so you have experience working on a contract basis and actually producing results for a company that you can speak to when you then go on AngelList and try to get one of the short-term or even long-term contract jobs. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's going to be it for the actual screen share part of this video, but I hope you guys got something get out of that, and thanks for sticking with this longer video with me.